You may be wondering, why in the world are we seeing flooring going in? Well, this has been my life the last few days, working on the bedroom in my new house, and so it's been a little crazy. This video is not going to be long. I'm going to try to head to campus to edit some of this, but this week is exam number 2. I saw a lot of really good work on the first one. You kind of know what to expect, what you need to be looking at, right? We have that practice exam and the solutions. You have those weekly practice. Those are really good questions to get you exposed to what we're going to be seeing this week. So just a quick summary of what to expect on this test. We've got 3 chapters, chapter 4, 5, and 6. You have chapter 4 with bivariate data, so you have the scatter plot with the titles, don't forget, labeled correctly. You have the correlation coefficient. You have the least squares regression line, maybe using that to predict a variable. You have residuals. What does a residual mean? Can you calculate a residual either within StatCrunch or by hand? Can you create a residual plot? Be sure you practice that. If you look in StatCrunch, there's a bunch of things that say residual, but only one of them is correct. Let's see, there's some other stuff there too. Is a least squares regression, is linear regression appropriate? And so there are ways to analyze the residual plot. The coefficient of determination, R squared. What does that mean? How do you interpret it? So that's all from chapter 4. And then at the end, you have the qualitative data where you're looking at these contingency tables and the distribution, either columns or rows. So be sure to practice that as well. Those take some practice. They're easier said than done. If you go in thinking it's all in StatCrunch, it's easy to do the wrong direction. Chapter 5, probability. Talked about this in the video a couple weeks ago. You got to just practice, lots of problems. There's going to be 4 or 5 of them there, and the only way to know which rules to apply is to practice, so you start to recognize some of the structure of those problems. Last, chapter 6, expected value. You know you're going to have an expected value and an interpretation of that expected value. It's the long-term average, right? It's not what will happen in that particular experiment. It's the long-term average. Boy, this camera gets heavy, my arm's starting to shake. And then binomial probability in 6.2. You have that binomial probability. Be sure you know how to use the calculator for that. I think that's it. The main ideas. Be sure to look at the practice exam and look at the weekly practice. Email me if you have any questions. And I think we have a couple people testing elsewhere other than ECC's testing center, so be sure to contact me so we can coordinate that and get that set up again. Yeah, I think that's it. Good luck. I'm going to get back to work on this floor.